obviously I've just spoke to the play group about an hour ago, and looks like I'm going to do the same again now, which is great because that was quite difficult. But today I'm going to announce my retirement from first class and domestic one-day cricket in Australia. I'm very humbled and grateful for the career that I've had at Western Australian Cricket, which has spanned over 15 years. Had a lot of enjoyable times, ups and downs, which are all part of a great journey that I've, like I said, been very grateful to experience. Just want to thank all the people that have shaped my career, from my junior days through my senior cricket to my first class career, from coaches, teammates, and friends, and especially family. Like I said, I've thoroughly enjoyed the journey. To finish on a year that I've had this year has been extra special. It's been an added bonus. I didn't exactly know where I kind of stood for the rest of my career this time last year. So to kind of get through that, come back and have arguably definitely my most enjoyable season, but arguably one of my better ones has certainly been pretty special. And yeah, look, I'm excited that the next journey of my life begins. When I walk out the door today, I kind of go in the real world, which is exciting. I'm looking forward to it. The time's right. I feel very comfortable with it. And yeah, I'm open to you guys.
Seems a strange time to do it on the back of such a good season, and you fought your backside off to get back there. I mean, there were some doubts 4 months ago, but not so much now. Why?
A lot of the time, I think if you ask a lot of players or sportsmen when they're in good form or they're performing well, they don't seem to. They come back with cliche answers. You don't really think of much. It's kind of coming quite easy for me. And I think in my career, it's definitely felt that when I've been in form and scoring well, it's felt like an easy game. This year, it's been really exhausting to maintain that level. I kind of got on a bit of a wave at the start of the season. Got back in the side, got an opportunity to open the batting, which was out of my comfort zone and something I haven't done for a while, and was fortunate to get success straight away. So I was kind of on that wave, and before I knew it, I had 2 or 3 games where, I made 300, 400 runs. But then to maintain that through the year was really tough. And I thought, moving forward, if come next season I play on and things aren't going as good, I know in myself that I just didn't have the fight to fight through that, and to work hard enough when times aren't great. If I felt that when things were going well for me, I found that was really tough to maintain that through the year. So to me, that's a great message that I felt inside, that it was a good time to step aside.
So what are you going to do?
Oh, there's a number of things. I'm going to sign a contract to play a bit of county cricket. No, that can't be announced yet, but that's a fill-in role. So that'll be replacing another international player. So it's not a hell of a lot of cricket. So I'll take my family over to the UK. My sister-in-law is expecting a baby in July, so that's good timing. I've been working on a business plan, which is based in the UK, a company that I'll set up over there. So I guess the immediate future is probably spending quite a lot of time in the UK. I still have a BBL contract with the Sixers, which I'll still honour at this stage. So I guess like I said, the future's exciting, and I'm looking forward to the different challenges that's going to present.
You're going to live in the UK?
Well, certainly that's a decision that we're still kind of making, whether how permanent or semi-permanent that might be.
You haven't said that you think you'll honour the contract with the BBL at least. Is there a chance we can see you back in the Orange playing for the Scorchers in front of the West Australian public?
No. I've signed a contract with the Sixers for next season, and if I don't honour that, it doesn't mean I'm going to jump ship, come back and play for the Scorchers. When I say honour that, is to make sure that I'm 100% committed to coming back and playing for the Sixers. If I feel that I'm not going to be able to do that, I'd obviously let them know.
I'm pretty sure you're younger than Cat is, and he came back and played. There's a chance that after that one, is there another year maybe back and you see JL smiling?
Cato's a far better 2020 player than I, so Cato's had some good success, but you never say never, but it's certainly not in my thoughts at the moment.
So it's mental more than physical?
Yes, absolutely.
The body
Physically I feel fine.
Marcus, how long had you been thinking about this decision? When did you come to the realisation that you didn't have that, desire
Look, there's no doubt there was times through the season, but especially after the BBL, I kind of came back and had to really get myself up for the remainder of the season. I had that expectation to take off where, before my performances before Christmas, so I had that expectation not just from my teammates or the public or coaches, but myself to get back and have a really strong finish to the season. So I kind of knew that if that was a real effort, like I said, it was exhausting for me to do that. So I guess around that time, I started having discussions with family and a few friends, and it started to really hit home that it's going to be time, and it would have been great to have a fairy tale finish and win the Shield final. But God, I was grateful to actually play one.
Marcus, how do you lead? Looking back, how do you lead governor? What shape do you see?
I think no doubt that where this group is now is far better than it has been for a long, long time. I think it's easy to say that when we've just represented our state in the Shield final. The 2020 format, they won it, but it's not that for me. It's I think the attitude of the group. I think the way that Christina and the board has supported this high performance over the last number of years, because it costs money to get to a certain level of high performance with facilities to coaching staff, has been, has influenced this group immensely, as well as Justin and his technique and attitude and experience, enthusiasm and passion for the job is rubbing off, and I see it's consistently going through the group now that we're fighters. We're fighting a lot harder. We're playing tougher cricket, and this is a very young group, so that's pretty exciting if we're just starting to get it now. So I think the future's bright. It's in a healthy place at the moment. There's going to be some great challenges in the next couple of years for this group, no doubt about it. But that's been one of the most enjoyable things, is being able to finish my year playing with a lot of these young guys, as well as some of my best mates that I've played with most of my career. But the young guys have, I guess, rubbed off on me, this year to open the batting with a kid that's playing his first year in Cameron Bancroft was really exciting for me to try and help and develop those guys. So to answer your question, it's an exciting time, it's a healthy time, and I can only, with the structures and people that are here, I just can only see it getting better and more exciting.
Given it is such a young group, did anybody try to talk around it?
Well, no one yet. I announced the group an hour ago. They were all pretty happy, I think. But no, obviously I kind of spoke to Adam Voges and Shaw Marsh over the last couple of weeks, and just kind of sowed a seed. And they were kind of getting the hint of where I was going, and they were obviously trying to get me to play another year or so. But look, in not hindsight, in theory, it would be it'd be nice to play after and having a great year. But like I said, it would be unfair for myself, but also to this group of lads and the staff for me to try and squeeze another year out when I know that I wouldn't be able to commit to it.
Some players towards their end of their careers, they know they're destined for coaching. They love that kind of aspect. How about yourself?
I'd love to, yeah. Yeah, no doubt about it. I love working with young players at all different levels. But yeah, it's something that I've always thought that hopefully I'll get into. So no doubt that I'll be trying to look at avenues of getting myself into coaching.
What sort of coaching? I mean, as high as you can go, like a head coach
Oh yeah, look, I think eventually it'd be nice, wouldn't it? But I'm realistic about it. You need experience. You need to start at the bottom, so to speak, and work your way up. Playing and coaching, in a lot of ways, is very different. I've been fortunate enough to have been captain and work closely with some good coaches, and learn about leadership and people skills, and I think that's obviously a huge part of coaching at the highest level. But yeah, look, I'm a lover of the game. I'm always going to be close to it. I feel it's not something I can walk away fully, and the coaching side of things is definitely something that I'm interested in, and I know will motivate me to keep involved in the game.
And obviously, query at all of these types of occasions is the highlight. What's been the biggest sort of achievement of your time?
Every time I can have a crack of beer open with my teammates after a tough day, or celebrating a guy's 100 or 5 for or a win, there's no doubt, was looking back there the times that I will miss the most. There's some highlights. This year was fantastic to play in a Shield final. The result wasn't ideal. Couple of one-day titles that I've been lucky enough to play in the early 2000s, where we won the game in Brisbane in 03-04 was a pretty special game to be part of. It was probably the first time I actually really felt part of the WA team. I think I played every game that year and played in the final. So I felt I contributed, to that title. But yeah, look, to be honest, there hasn't been a lot of success in WA cricket through my career. So there's probably only, those 2 or 3 things.
So you're talking, team achievements and sort of comradeship and so on, ahead of test match performances in hundreds?
Well, to be fair, when I answered that question, it was I've been thinking about WA cricket. Playing test cricket is obviously the ultimate, representing your country, and that was something that I'll never forget. From the day of making my first 100 in my first test match to all of my 21 test matches, I didn't regret a moment. I enjoyed every single bit of it, even the tough times or the days I didn't do so well individually, as I said personally. That's special, that is no doubt. I would have loved to have played more test cricket. But in the majority of my career, 80% of it, 90% of it's been playing with these guys, been playing at the WACA. So, like I said, there hasn't been a lot of celebrating with winning championships or titles as such. But I've had a lot of good time through the journey of playing some tough cricket, and like I said, enjoying that success of individual success or just having a tough day with my mates out in the field.
Has there been communication before this day from Inverurie, from the Australian selectors after your sensational year about maybe getting there?
Nah, not at all. Invers spoke to me in the final and he got a bit excited about my bowling, but I was telling him not to kind of calm down a bit there. I hadn't spun one off the straight and he was pretty impressed with my drift, but there's been no communication regarding Australian selection. The reality is I had my opportunity, a few years ago. I enjoyed it. Like I said, I would have loved to play a lot more. It wasn't to be. That was my journey, and there's a lot of very, very good players that are going around Australian cricket now that are a lot younger than me, and will enjoy their opportunity when they get it.
See a lot more talent in WA guys that could step up and play national cricket coming through.
Yeah, absolutely. No doubt about it. Every one of these players will be, thriving to play for Australia, and that's the beauty of it. And that's all about playing, for your state in first class cricket, is to try and get to that next level. We've got some great talent, I think, all around us. The country, I've seen some great players, great young players coming through from all states that are going to be exciting to see develop and grow and see them get an opportunity at the next level.
Northie, do you think you got the best out of yourself?
If I'm completely honest, no. I think I have no regrets, but there's certainly been times where I wish I worked out things a bit quicker. How to prepare better, how to train better. But I think that's just part of that's part of the journey. That's the the guys that maybe get it a bit quicker than most tend to have more success or earlier. But I'm like I said, I'm grateful. I look back at my career and I've achieved a lot of things that I'm very proud of. To play for my country, to play, I think 117 first-class games for my state, 91 days. I've played a lot of county cricket. So I've experienced some great things. I feel very rich for what the game's given me. So, I think we always want to do better. Always want to score more runs. Always wanted to play more test cricket. So, if I'm being honest, I would have liked to have been a little bit better.
Justin, what sort of legacy do you think Marcus leaves on WA cricket?
I guess the first one is that I've said since he's made his debut, he's a sort of player that you'd pay money to watch play. Very nice to watch, beautiful, elegant player to watch. So we've really enjoyed his calming nature and leadership around the group this year. And I said to the boys this morning, the most impressive thing for me was that you often judge people's character, and we talk about character, about how they come back in the tough times. Last year, Marcus relinquished the captaincy and he was dropped from the West Australian cricket team, and for him to come back and be the Shield Player of the Year, be the captain of the Shield Team of the Year, and to have such an incredible leadership and mentoring influence on our young players. You know, it's a great credit to his character as much as anything.
How important has he been in rebuilding the side underneath yourself since you took over the coaching?
Well, again, particularly this year, and I always say that if the kids play with the kids, then they're not really going to learn that much. They'll get knocked around out when the lights come on, but when you've got senior players around, and we're very fortunate to have some very good senior players around, and you're always searching for those senior players to influence because actually as a coach you can't walk out onto the ground with them, and that's one of the frustrating things about being a coach over a player. So when you've got trust in the senior players that they're going to instill the values on and off the cricket field, well then it gives you some comfort, and I certainly had comfort with Northie this year. He's been fantastic.
Were you surprised by the decision?
Yeah, I was actually. I've been sort of chiding him the last week or so, and I was hoping he'd play for another couple of years. Having said that, when he told me on last Friday, when he told me on Friday, I wasn't going to argue with him because I remember Adam Gilchrist ringing me a few years ago, and I was in a cafe in Sydney, and I picked up the phone, and the first thing Gilly said to me was, "I thought you were a bullshit artist." I said, "What are you talking about?" He said, "You told me that one day you're going to wake up and you know it's time to retire." Gilly said, "I never thought it would happen to me, but it's just happened," and he retired that day. And as soon as I saw the look in his face, his decision's made up, so I wasn't going to, as much as I'd love him to keep playing, I wasn't going to try and change his mind because I couldn't, and Joanne, his wife, couldn't, or his parents couldn't. No one could change it. When you know, you know. So that's why I respect his decision and wish him well for the future.
Is there a role for him back here at the WACA next season?
Well, I'm sure in the fifth, if Northie's keen on coaching, then we're always looking to have the best coaching staff we can. You know, we know he's West Australian through and through. One thing I know about Northie is he's so passionate about West Australian cricket. So who knows? Northie's got a lot to work out now over the next 6 months, 12 months, 2 years, and when he gets on the path of the next stage of his life, like he says in the real world, he leaves the fairy tale now, and in the real world, when he gets onto the path he wants to go forward with a new career, then he will certainly always be welcome back at the WACA.
Marcus, another one, just a final one for me, is that these sort of occasions as well, you know, we all want to know how you were when you addressed the player group. You know, how'd you handle it?
Yeah, not too bad. I didn't cry, which was no, it shows it was the right decision. So that's disappointing for you. But no, mate, I was pretty nervous. There's no doubt. I mean, I was shaking a bit up there. I knew that was going to be the toughest time to tell your teammates, you know, because it certainly hits home, you know. And like I said, especially with a lot of the qualities that I've loved to play with these guys, and the quality moments that I've enjoyed with my teammates over a long period of time, and how special it is for me to, like I said, walk off the field and have a beer with them, and knowing that that's not going to happen now. You know, I'm not going to walk off with my whites dirty and me feeling pretty knackered with my spikes on and grabbing a beer before an ice bath, which is mostly frowned upon most of the time. But you know, that's what I'm going to miss a lot. You know, so yeah, it was difficult to address the group, but like I said, when you know, and what Justin said, when you know the time's right, you know, I think that it came across and it felt right, and I was kind of at the end of the outcome. I felt quite relieved.
And how do you feel now? Is it a sense of relief, sadness?
Yeah, no. There's definitely a bit of sadness because I'm saying goodbye to, you know, 15 years of a career and a life that I've lived. So, you know, you're driving here every day to go to work. So, there's no doubt that I'm sad to be leaving that behind. But like I said, I'm excited for what's ahead. And I think being humbled and grateful for what WA cricket has given me over a long period of time makes it a lot easier to walk away as well.
I think you mentioned be happy to have you around a bit more. Maybe.
Yeah, absolutely. No doubt about it, especially with a couple of young ones. And our schedule this year has been crazy. You know, felt like we haven't been home. So I think last week was the first time I fully unpacked my suitcase. So yeah, no doubt I'll be enjoying some time with them.
And you mentioned going into the real world and some business interests there. What sort of things are you going to get up to?
Well, I love wine, so it'll be to do with wine. Yeah, it's something that I've always I've grown a real love and a passion for it over the last kind of 5 or 6 years, and hopefully I make a few right decisions and find a little niche for myself.